Today we are going to be reviewing Boson Protocol. Now this crypto only recently dropped, and we can see here, taking a look at their all-time chart, that on the 9th of April they shot up from zero, since it was their IPO really, all the way up to $5.8 before continuing to slowly bounce around that level in the last week before fading out to about $3.8 right now, with a 24-hour volume of 6 million. They're obviously very liquid, and that trading volume is down 24% from recent highs. Obviously, you can always get almost caught in a pump and dump on the initial kind of ICO days. So, that trading volume will be expected to be high, and this sort of volatility is also expected. Probably people are feeling good about it, 100% good, because obviously there's not been too many people on the side. But what is Boson? Boson is essentially a trust minimized protocol that enables and automates the digital to physical redemptions using NFTs and all stuff like that in the e-commerce sector. So obviously e-commerce is a massive sector. There's a lot of competition amongst cryptos and non-cryptos for the e-commerce sector, but essentially Boson, as this guy here says, he says about how they want to remove any intermediary in the sort of commerce process, and thus make it much more efficient, as most cryptocurrencies do. And he claims to have taken a business from a $50 million business all the way up into a $1 billion business. And this video, despite being fairly vague, he does sell himself and he does sell the crypto in it. So I'd recommend checking out this video if you want to get a better understanding of what Boson. Now, taking a look at what markets you can buy it on, if you're looking to buy Boson, you can buy it on KuCoin. And if you decide to buy it on KuCoin, use my link down in the description to sign up to KuCoin, and you could get potentially some free KuCoin crypto or some discount on fees. Now let's take a look at their website. So you can see part of the future of commerce, become part of it by signing up and buying the current crypto. And they claim that head on in the future in terms of automating the e-commerce and commerce sector. So you can see they've already got quite a few different partners here. I can't say that I know too many of them. They've obviously got something going for them, and you can see here exactly what the Boson protocol is trying to do. You've got the buyer, you got the seller, and then you can see that in the middle, Boson helps smooth out this transaction, this process, sorting out the data, the products and services, and transacting the digital value. And you can see they're a decentralized e-commerce system, which is hence why they try and remove the intermediary. And obviously that is a very big thing. And I always think within crypto, if they're trying to be decentralized, I think that's such a good thing, because that kind of gives them an edge relative to, let's say, the standard e-commerce companies that are out there right now in terms of the stocks and shares world. So let's take a look at their market cap. So we don't actually know their market cap. We can see their fully diluted market cap is 783 million. That is obviously a very, very big market cap. And I guess they IPO'd, and I guess they're hovering around $1 billion value once all the tokens are in supply, once they're hitting around the $4 or $5 mark. Now, I'll be very interested to see what their market cap is. Now, I'm no financial advisor, so anything I do or say in this video should not be taken as reason to invest. I can't be responsible. Please read the full disclaimer. But I'm very, very tempted to monitor this stock, to monitor this crypto, and take a look at, if it dips and if I can get into investing in it. Because I know a lot of my friends have really been hyping it up, which is never a good sign, because you never want to get caught in a pump. You want to always buy the dump, essentially, if you believe in the crypto. So now we've had a look at that. Obviously, their website kind of shows a bit more what they're about. Automation, is the future, and they're kind of involved in the NFT sector, which obviously, if NFTs continue to thrive, then this is going to be a very, very good sector to be in. And taking a look at their recent news, we can see that they conclude a $25.8 million public sale recently. And there's a lot of news about them, as obviously they're recently being listed to all of these exchanges. And they're raising, 10 million funding here, 28 million here, obviously to make further developments going forward in the future. And it is, it's a very competitive space, commerce and e-commerce. And whilst I think they've got an advantage being decentralized, I still think that there's a lot of competition around it, and I'd be skeptical of the growth and the amount of market share they could capture relative to some other cryptos that clearly, they have a monopoly on certain sectors, and they have a much bigger advantage on certain sectors relative to the traditional companies that aren't using blockchain. But you can see blockchain is really kind of going to help Boson. And on their Twitter, there's no real news to note. I'd say their pinned tweet is basically announcing the Guardians program, where you can kind of compete and get rewards and help out the community, enabling smart contracts to execute real-world commerce transactions and input commerce data reliably and autonomously. So what is going to, send Boson protocol to the moon is that there's a high demand for their services. There's a high amount of, transactions taking place on their servers. They're involved in a high amount of transactions. And the more transactions that Boson is being used for, the higher demand for the coin, the more real world use for the coin, and the more, probably via commissions, and the more, in that sense, demand for the coin, it's going to push up the coin price relatively high. What could kill off Boson, on the other hand, is obviously everybody choosing to use traditional e-commerce services, facing a much higher competition from other smart contract providers looking to get into the same sector. Maybe Vet, they're the biggest smart contract provider, I'd say, out there, with that biggest focus there. So really, Boson is a very, very new protocol. It's got a lot of potential. It's in a massive industry. E-commerce has grown so much recently. And for that reason, I'm very tempted to dip my fingers in the water. I'm tempted to. Now, I'm no financial advisor, as I say. I'm just thinking about it. And now, if we can probably take a look at the white paper, taking a look at the white paper is always a very, very good idea. Because when you take a look at the white paper, it offers in great detail exactly what they're doing, what they're trying to do, and what they're kind of, looking to do in the future. And you can see the one thing that stands out to me is the NFT vouchers. So obviously they've got their use cases, online commerce, voucher distribution, machine-to-machine e-commerce, loyalty, rewards, games, gaming, crypto exchanges, service bookings, tokenized with networks, and so on. And there it goes on to explain more about the vouchers. So really there's quite a lot of use cases, but with any big crypto out there, there's loads of use cases. Currently, until they get a lot more people partnered up with them through the door, they're going to be rather speculative, but there's great potential for it, I believe. Now, it's no guarantee, but I think there is. So again, taking a look at the chart, I mean, it's really too early on to see any sort of pattern or any sort of looking for a triple bottom where it kind of hits 2-3 lines and then goes down is pointless doing, because it's ICO'd. Volatility on the ICO is very high. Taking a look at the recent chart, we can see it's on a slight downtrend, maybe signaling a tiny bit of a recovery at the moment. You can see right there. And obviously the volume is consistent throughout, which is always good to see. So my opinion on the coin, as I was saying, it's got a lot of potential. Currently it's speculative. They need to get more clients. They're in a very, very competitive industry because the industry is so big, and they're going to face a lot more traditional competition in the e-commerce and commerce sector than a lot of other cryptos that are, focused on decentralization in their sector. So, if it dips below $3, I'm going to be very interested to buy. I know a lot of people right now are saying it's going to go to $100, somebody said. But it really just depends on what is happening. It's on quite a few watch lists. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'll catch you again very soon.